Yeah, this place certainly is. In the air to center field. And Carlos Beltran, who had problems seeing the ball in the twilight last night, has no problem.
Coach Dan Worthen to shore up his secondary pitches.
1-2, and it's punched into left field. A base hit for Sanchez. So a one-out single for Freddie Sanchez, and the Pirates.
Well, he's never ever had that happen where two outfielders lost the flight of the ball.
In the air to left center, and Beltran easing over. McLeod retired, 2 down. But nobody calls that anymore. Another chance for Beltran, and he quits the game. Grounded toward the hole, and right under the backhand of Ramon Vasquez, and Reyes aboard to lead off the bottom of the first. The infield in with nobody out, with Reyes at third and Castillo at the plate. And it's shot right over the bag. That'll bring home the first run of the game. Castillo will stop at first as it comes off the sidewall. An RBI single for Castillo. Mets starters have had that day after day. Double play ball to short. Vasquez to Sanchez, but a bad throw. The ball just slipped out of the hand.
Last night, Burnett hung one curveball. That was enough for Delgado.
Fisted down to third. LaRoche gets the out at second. Sanchez this time turns it over cleanly. Either be on the bench or in the minor leagues right now. Struck him out. Mange down
the field. They get loosened up, throw the baseball around.
LaRoche hits one toward the right field corner, and that's going to settle down for an extra base hit. Sheffield plays it out of the corner, and Andy LaRoche stands at second base with his 8th double of the year.
Castro catches it.
Ramon framed it nicely. 3-2. Struck him out. Came upstairs with the fastball.
The only problem you have here is by walking him, that Mahalam handles the bat very well. Good out.
2-2 to Mahalam. Lifted to left, chasing Tatis back a couple of strides, and that'll do it. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat to right, and he struck him out. Got him with a changeup. And he drives this one deep to left field. Morgan moving over though, and he gets there on the warning track.
They don't hit a lot. They don't win a lot of games in Pittsburgh. Pitches to both sides of the plate, makes the hitter move.
Down to third, knocked down by Andy LaRoche. Plenty of time.
That the organization would have kind of other things on its mind. They were just as welcoming and helpful to have us here this year.
Nigel Morgan lifts one to left, and Tatis grabs it for the first.
So welcoming. The staff and the security groups, the security crews here are so welcoming that it's just been. We still call it Autism Awareness Day. When this started 8 years ago, it really was. We were like saying there is this thing called autism.
Beautiful short hop play by Castillo, and he throws out McLeod for the second out. Sanchez over to third with 2 away.
At the same time, Gary, it's still worth mentioning that if parents are a little bit worried about their infants, their young children, 1.5 years old, if they're seeing problems in speech, not developing, and he's made terrific advances in that regard, and he's a very sweet boy to be around.
Stretch of games where he was sitting, and Omir Santos played 5 out of 6. Rolls one out to short for Ramon Vasquez, who throws Cass' first home run.
He's going to get one.
Line and short hopped by Sanchez. 2 out. Because you used to live in it.
That's right.
So you have some seniority. Popped up, shallow center. Morgan and McLeod, and McLeod takes charge.
They had a bad wrist and spent 4 and some years in the service.
Castillo gets in front of the grounder from Moss and throws him out.
Why?
You can tell me better than I can tell you.
I was there.
Andy LaRoche gets drilled.
And stopped about 4 or 5 times.
On 2-2, hit to short, should be a double play. Reyes to Castillo on to.
He graduated from Fordham, one of the few that graduated from college that played in the major leagues.
Reyes
He was the angriest man.
Oh, yeah. And then he came over to the Brooklyn Dodgers and got beamed by a guy named Bowman.
And Castillo has his second hit of the afternoon. And from Mahalam, Pepper Mark was a guy who was homeless for years, riding the rails. As Beltran gets one up the middle for a base hit, and the Mets have the first 2 men on. All those stolen bases counted. 2-2 to Delgado, and he now batting with 2 aboard, and David bloops one into right center. That'll fall for a base hit. Around third is Castillo to score. Beltran goes first to third. David Wright's RBI single has given the Mets a 2-0 lead.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it certainly was effective as he gets a Ortiz or somebody like
Pull
that.
holds.
Yeah, big, strong guys that go about 230.
Sheffield with the base hit through the hole, and that brings home Beltran to make it 3-0. So 4 hits in the inning off Paul.
Don't really freeze up and be loose. There goes the runners.
And a bloop, shallow center, falling fast, in for a base hit. Wright racing home to score. On to third goes Sheffield. 5 hits in the inning have produced 3 runs. And the Mets have a 4-0
game of baseball.
You're really right. You have to really concentrate and live for that, and you can't do anything about it.
How do you feel about as Maine shoots one to the first baseman and everybody gets back?
It's about the same way all the time, and the others aren't, and you better keep that in mind when you hit.
Up the middle, base hit for Reyes. In to score is Sheffield. Here comes Tatis. A 2-run single for Reyes. And the Mets now with a 6-0 lead.
And once again,
pitching a single to right is up for the second time. And breaks his back, grounds it down to third. Andy LaRoche throws him out to end the inning. But
you carry a big load. How about Ernie Banks? He never played in the World Series. Here's a guy that's one of the great players. And Ernie Banks
hits one deep to right. Back goes Sheffield looking up, and it's out of here. How about that? Paul Maholm hits a home run. He hits it over the Modell sign, the first one that's been hit there at Citi Field. It's his first career home run, and it puts the Pirates on the board.
I told you he was a threat.
It also was his first run batted in, so he hit the jackpot.
That is Major League home run. Morgan lifts one down the left field line. And Tatis has room to make the grab.
The Hall of Fame, and he was not the hitter he was.
Sanchez goes deep to right center. Beltran back in the gap, and he runs it down. Nicely done by the Gold Glove.
Saw him or heard anything about him, but they say he was better than Joe. But there's no way they can prove that to me.
Well, they used to sing in Boston, better than his brother Joe.
Hurt his arm, came back. I think they wanted to bring him to Pittsburgh to kind of tutor these younger pitchers.
Hit in the air to deep left field. Back goes Morgan to the track. Back at the wall. It's out of here. Into the second deck. Carlos Beltran with his 6th home run of the year. And now it's 7-1 New York. Well, we're seeing home runs today go places we have not seen them go before at Citi Field. Delgado grounds one right at Sanchez, playing deep. Plate, even though he's had far more at bats left-handed. David Wright pops one up. Sanchez making the call.
Pitching every day is getting it deep in the game.
Sheffield has another base hit. And so Gary's 2 for 3, and he's
had 500 home runs in the Major League career. That has been outstanding.
Tatis muscles one out to right. Over goes Moss, and 3. And LaRoche rolls over one. And Kiss.
Umpire. You are, as we said, the producer of the Howard Stern Show, and you've done that for many, many years. As Moss gives one a ride, Beltran will haul in for the second out.
And Musso, he's going to be thinking that he can hit anyone.
Line to left, right at Tatis, who makes the lunging grab. A scorcher, and Tatis stays with it.
Well, he has been one of their constants out of the bullpen. He's had a nice beginning to the season. Is on the top. And he's one of the few that he's seen that has both. Knows the strike zone, on top of the strike zone, and at the bottom of the strike zone.
Out to short for Vasquez, and hard.
Really hard.
Rolls over one down to first, and Adam LaRoche makes the play. And so Chai Schneider on the disabled list, and they carry only 2 catchers. Vasquez pops it up. Castillo out. Beltran in, and it lands. Beltran didn't make any effort to go after that ball. He left Castillo on his own. And Jaramillo lofts one down the right field line. A long run for Sheffield. Reaching, sliding, and he made the catch. Nice play by Sheffield going toward that sidewall. He caught it in fair territory for a very nice first out. Really didn't get to pitch very much for the Blue Jays, but they let him go, and the Mets picked him up. And he strikes out Monroe. John Russell's use of him over the last few days. 1-2, and Morgan goes down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for.
Turn 26 in a few days, May 12th.
Out to Sanchez.
With him at times, just go a little up the ladder.
Curve is an offensive organization. Driven toward the gap in right center field. Back toward the wall, and it bounces to the bullpen fence. And Delgado cruises into second base. And David lofts one toward the right field line. Moss took a bad route to it, and he can't get there. Delgado will score easily. It's rolling away from Moss, and Wright hits for third. An RBI triple for David Wright. And it's 8-1 New York. Second triple of the year for David, his second RBI of the day. And Brandon Moss had all sorts of guys. Here's the 3-1 to Sheffield. Little dribbler, and he comes off the mound to play it. That'll. And Sanchez lifts one to left center. A long run back to the gap for Beltran, but he cruises. And a broken bat bloop. On comes Beltran to make the catch. Oh, he's been nothing but impressive in his 3 outings as a Met. And a little ground ball to the right side for Castillo. Takahashi over to cover.
Yeah, me too. That's always a little bit of a problem.
Shallow left field. Nigel Morgan coming on. Got a late start. It falls for a hit.
Take a guy out of a ball game, he's usually at least no good for the next day.
Santos lines one down the left field line. That's an extra base hit going to the corner. Tatis heads for third as Morgan digs it out. Tatis 10 days since Bryant's been in a game, and it looks like he's finally going to get in. And a ground ball base hit for Reed. That'll bring home Tatis. Santos stops at third. Jeremy Reed with his second run batted into the season, and it's 9-1 New York. That's a guy who needed a hit. He has 2 hits. He's driven in 2 runs today. And he hits one in the air along the right field line. A long run from Moss or Sanchez, and it falls. Racing home is Santos, and it's 10-1. Third hit of the day, third RBI of the day for Reyes.
Takahashi trying to learn the vagaries of the high five.
Well, here's Beltran, who has a single and a home run today, and he pops one up into shallow center. McLeod settling under it, and that's the second out.
Back box.
Slow ground ball. Sanchez with a long way to come, and Delgado beats it out. Well, that's the down. There's a Coors Field. Line towards short, picked off.
Saying that word. That's a tough one for me too. Try to stay away from that one.
Yeah, you know better, don't you?
No,
Chance for Reed coming on, and Reed makes the running catch. Well, the Mets on the verge of their 6th straight win. That one lined down the left field line, an extra base hit for Andy LaRoche. Only the 5th hit of the game for the Pirates, and LaRoche has his second double of 3-1 to Vasquez. Hit to center field. Beltran standing his ground. 2 out.
that's what they say. I never believed that.
Here's Jason Jaramillo. Pirates down to their last out, and it should be secured right here. David Wright grabs it, and the Mets win it in a walk.